Moving on. Talking of abstention, how to abstain and pursue holiness. So 2 Peter 1:3-4 says, according as his divine power have given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that have called us unto glory and virtue means moral excellence. See, everybody's logging off now. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. This is just basically saying, listen, God has provided everything for us that we need to live holy and godly. It's all in him, right? So if we really, truly are serious about living a holy life and living a pure life before God, a life that's acceptable and pleasing to him, he has provided that, yeah, through the knowledge of Jesus Christ, who has called us unto glory and moral excellence. God has called us to be, as Sister Kay puts it, a cut above the rest. Yeah, so yes, it's difficult, but God has provided for it. God doesn't ask us to do anything that we can't do, right? So having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and of the spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. We have to pursue holiness. We have to pursue righteousness, and perfection comes in the pursuit. Yeah, so we have to try. There's an effort that we have to put in. It's not that just God just fills us and then, you know, we're just okay and we're never gonna have any temptations. Yeah, so come back next week. Practical ways to keep yourself from fornication. So we do want to actually do this before we leave, even though we're over time. So I want some seasoned veterans of abstinence to come out of the woodwork now and give us some practical ways of abstinence. So we know we got to read the Bible, we got to pray. I'm going to add fasting there. To break the spirit of lust, you need to fast. You ain't going to break that without fasting, right? So you need to fast. You need to pray. We need to read our Bible. All of that good stuff, worship, praise. Okay, that's normally what we hear, right? Give us some actual practical things. I'm going to start with one. Stop listening to slow jams and sexual music and watching rom-coms. Anyone else? Come on, I know we got some veterans on the line.
I think setting a limit for, you know, when you're going out. So don't go out after 10 or don't go after 7. I don't know. Just like
you're talking about with
time.
Someone.
Yeah.
Of the opposite sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Definitely don't have them in your house alone late at night.
Yes, that sounds sensible. Any more? Beulah?
My one is protracted fasting. You cannot, I know it sounds cliche and it sounds like, oh, but that's not, I'm telling you now, if you want to break, your body runs on 3 things. The body needs 3 things to survive. It needs sleep, it needs nutrients, and then you can argue about sex, okay? If you take away sleep, you're not going to want sex. If you're taking away food, you're not going to want sex either. Sex is a very strong and overpowering one. You can't be saying I'm struggling and if you want to break something, I'm telling you a 2 or 3 day protracted fast. Don't break it. You know, like
water only.
Water in between, you'll break it. Also, just dietary. The food that you eat significantly impacts your hormones and how your body behaves. So you're struggling with sexual desire and eating 4 steaks, 10 eggs, a pint of milk a day. And all bread, lots of bread.
That pig ankle.
The pig ankle from last week.
That dangerous pig ankle, boy, causes depression and sex drive.
Yeah, milk. Yeah, all the foods that we eat. If you do a fast, even if you do a fast, or you're just eating your vegetables and greens, I'm telling you, you will have far more control over your body's everything you put in controls it. So fasting and catching your diet.
Sister Nikki said, don't put pot on the fire if you have no intention of cooking food. Why? Would you like to explain that metaphor for us, Sister Nikki? Yeah. Dion, you have your hand up? Dion, you there? You had your hand up?
I had my hand up a while ago. I don't want my hand up anymore. Thank you very much.
But it's on the screen, so you do have your hand up. Go ahead.
But, I would definitely say just be honest. Have somebody that you are accountable to, that you can go and talk to about these kind of things honestly, that will pray with you, and that will just, if you're on that tip where you know you're at, especially for women, you're at that time of the month where your hormones are raging, etc. What I usually do, I have an older cousin. I usually just go and stay with her, and she's a big woman. She's a godly woman, so I can talk to her about anything, and you know, just that company. So I'm not, especially if you live alone as well. So you're up at 12 o'clock and you're tossing and turning, and you just answer them, sending one text late at night and all of that stuff before you know you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, don't do them things. Be honest with yourself, with your feelings. They're God given, but also you know what the word says. So just safeguard yourself. It's not weird, but you know, as a topic, you know, you guys thrashed it out tonight. You're not supposed to have legal sex. So just safeguard.
Sorry, can you come a bit closer to the mic? Because it sounds like you're in another room. Hello?
Hi, sorry, one moment.
So in the meantime, someone put in the chat, exercise, running, the gym helps.
Sorry, I think I was speaking for a speaker, I'm sorry. But basically, what I was saying is that just really be honest with yourself, be honest with your feelings. I heard somebody said earlier on today, own your feelings, okay? And go to God about it. I've cried a lot about it. And if it gets overwhelming, talk to somebody who is mature and is honest enough to understand and to counsel you, or, you know, at that time of the month when you know that it's too much for you, if for a woman, those feelings or whatever, go and stay with somebody. Go and stay with your mom or your auntie or somebody older, not no friend that's a boy or something like that. But, you know, go for walks, do stuff that you like to occupy your mind as well. You know, if you like painting or if you like cooking, or go and, you know, do something active. Don't just sit at home and mope about it and whatever, because the thing is that God knows why he's set certain boundaries. It's for our joy and for our protection. So there's no point, if you don't have somebody, there's no point in sitting at home whining and moping and rehashing the feelings. It's going to make you miserable. So do what you can do. Keep yourself busy, keep yourself occupied, and just ask God to help you to control those feelings until you're in a situation where you can, you know, act on them.
Thank you. For the brothers, I want to add add to what Dion said about keeping active. Idleness is a big one, because when David saw Bathsheba that morning, he was supposed to be at war, but he actually overslept. And so when he went out on his rooftop and saw Bathsheba naked, it's because he was being lazy, because he was being idle. He was oversleeping. So, men, we need to keep active. We need to do stuff. You know, an idle man will find things to do that he shouldn't do. So keeping active is actually quite a key, and not being slothful or lazy. Any more?
If any thoughts or whatever coming into your head, or where you're seeing somebody or some image and it's making your mind go certain places, you need to distract yourself. It's sitting and meditating on particular thoughts or particular images or particular people you're seeing, you're nurturing that lust. So it's just that kind of using common sense, and it comes back to what you just said, and an amalgamation of what everyone has said. It's about being busy with other things. If you sit and meditate on different films and staring at the person across the road and you're nurturing that thought, you're just going to turn into a really lustful person. So you just have to use common sense.
Yeah, and keep busy for God. Let me tell you something. God has a lot of work for you to do. God has a lot of projects for every single one of us to do. Trust me. So God actually has stuff for you to do. Don't think that, you know, God has just has you there. Just, no, God has stuff for you to do. Important stuff that will keep you active, and then stuff that will actually give you pleasure, and a pleasure that is actually higher than the pleasure that your mind or your flesh wants. So keeping busy for God is so key. And if you open up yourself to him, he'll give you a lot of work to do.
Can I add one?
Yes, go ahead.
There you go. I would say know yourself. Get to know yourself. Spend time with you. Know what you like, know what you dislike. But also to discern what it is you really are craving. Because sometimes it could be that what you want is attention, or it's because you're lonely and you actually need friendship as opposed to, you know, sex in that respect. Know yourself, because sometimes it's good to have a group of male friends as a female that are just male friends, because it fills a gap and a void. So sometimes it's because we don't discern what it is we really need. Is it that I just want male attention? What is it? So if you really know yourself and what you need, it helps you to discern how you plan your life, what things to avoid, the art of distraction, and so on and so on. But you've got to spend time with you. Love your own company. Like, you know, not doing no madness now, but I'm just saying, you know, enjoy your own company. Do what makes you happy. Go on the walk. Do the painting. You know, do whatever. But
Could be a whole other problem.
Well, that's probably it, yeah. So discern what it is you really want. Is it that you're just lonely and you just need some friendship? Is it that, you know, you just want attention, male attention? Nothing wrong with male attention, but it's how far you take this thing. So, you know, get some good male brothers as friends. I don't understand these sisters in church. You don't have no decent guy brother friends. Like, you need them. You need them. They help. They will tell you when you're acting the fool, but they will love you like a brother should, and also help protect you and make the right choices. I think that friendship group with the opposite sex is very important. That's one thing that will help.
That's a good one, actually. Friendship with the opposite sex in church. People you can trust, because they helped you to detect and sniff out, you know, the bad guys and the Pentecostal play girls and play boys. So that's a very good one, Sister Kay. Before we close in prayer, Sister Beulah, do you want to say any final comments?
Only to answer the question,
Right.
which is we asked, is it realistic? Is no sex before marriage realistic?
Correct.
It is, and it's possible. God is not unreasonable, and he doesn't ask us to do anything that he hasn't given us the power to do or to overcome. It's just about us digging deep into him in loving obedience and relationship with him to overcome these things, not pretending that they don't exist, not pretending that it isn't a challenge. And we've talked about the different ways to combat this, and how important mentorship and working together to feed into someone's growth in this area really is. But it's realistic. it's realistic. And of course, the implications, like Brother Michael alluded to, if we don't do this, it actually incurs the wrath of God. We don't, we're excluded from inheriting the benefits in his kingdom, and it ultimately leads to death. So the implications are really serious, and for your own spiritual well-being, it's very, very serious if we don't. But there are blessings and beauty in waiting for marriage. So there's a lot. I've written down quite a few of the questions also that we haven't managed to get to, and we will definitely have to revisit these in a part 2, I think, Michael. But God bless you. Thank you all for coming on tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. Even though you all started talking at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah, God bless you in your journey. And if anyone does actually want any prayer in this particular area, or has any prayer requests or anything like that, you can message me or Michael privately, or put it out in the group. We're going to ask for a closing prayer. But listen, we're going to tackle this thing together. You're not alone. You are not alone. There is no shame in this. The only shame that needs to go is onto the devil. There's no shame. We just want to be saved. So release yourself from the bondage, and be free in Jesus' name. So
I'm going to ask Sister Jeanette to pray, but before I do, I just want to read this scripture. 1 John 5:2-4. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. For everyone who has been born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. So what God is asking us to do is not burdensome. And this is what the world would like us to feel and to think, that it's so hard and God is just bad. He's just terrible to us. And this is how the devil tricked Eve, when he made her feel like God was holding something back from her. And so her pride kicked in, and she felt like she had to be like a God. God is not holding back any good thing from us, right? We get what we are supposed to get in good time if we follow his word. He makes everything beautiful in his time.